So, yeah, welcome back to the Glass Ball tournament. We totally did not forget about you. Anyways, here's he1. That's very quick. Bombs, peacemakers, villains, and the majesties. I mean, it should be like one giant Mike Tyson versus three, well, baby-sized babies, but I don't know. Maybe bombs are gonna fumble like they did last event, which was very surprising. Their captain, Awesome, took dead last in lap race, an event that they were probably supposed to be good at, which the assassins took advantage of and actually moved up into second place. The assassins are very unpredictable this event. They've won it, they've gone last, but I think everyone can agree the favorites are the Suns, as they have won this event twice, have never taken last. Despite them DNQing, I don't think they participated in the season two collision because of that, and we don't know how they would have done there. But here comes the first round. That comes at you quite quickly. Vicious Villains and the Mint Majesties. They go down, and it's gonna be a good victory for the Vicious Villains. The Mint Majesties continue losing, no matter whatever the competition, collision, anything. They lose. They have lost it every time basically. Peacemakers and the bombs. Can the bombs start this event well? No, no, they cannot. No, they will fail miserably and lose to the Peacemakers 3-2. See, this is what the energy the Peacemakers need in the first half to actually pull through, like they did last season and finish in the position. Now we have a hype match. This is between two old rivals. I think we can tell which team is actually better, and which team does not even deserve to be here right now. The Peacemakers are obviously better. Let's be honest. Like even though they've sometimes flopped, the Vicious Villains have just not been good. Now bombs are back and they will redeem themselves. Mint Majesties, man, I can't. I don't think they will ever recover from this season. They are definitely looking awful to start next season. And yeah, I doubt they're going to make it past the group stage while Bombs redeem themselves from their loss. Now, Bombs, I believe this would be their final match. Now it's against the Vicious Villains. Can they win it again? Yes, they will. That was a good victory over the Vicious Villains, 3-2. You can see that one villain in the shadows. You can barely see him actually, but no, I think this is the final match. Mint Majesties and the Peacemakers, which, yeah. Oh, never mind. Apparently the Mint Majesties won something. They gotta take their victories where they lie at this point. Like they win one collision match. That's honestly the most wins they'll get this season. So like, yeah, let's see who advances. The Bombs and the Peacemakers are gonna make it to the or actually quarterfinals. Excuse me. The Vicious and the Majesties are not gonna make it. Bombs look terrible after the first match, but they pull it back, and now here's He2, the Assassins, the Corsairs, the Blasters, and the Suns. Now, Suns, what can they do? We are going to be looking at them, the Atlantic Assassins, and actually also the Cantaloupe Corsairs. The Assassins and Corsairs are the two who are contending for an overall podium. Meanwhile, Suns are contending for a good finish to the season. And they will start off this event with a tie, 2-2 against the Ice Blasters, who were doing very well at the start of the season, but they missed like good finishes in so many events. Now they're just in the mid pack. Right, here are those two teams contending for a podium: the Cantaloupe Corsairs and the Atlantic Assassins. How will they do? Believe it's a 1-0 victory for the Cantaloupe Corsairs, and it is. The Atlantic Assassins are not starting off this event well, that's for sure. They're also tied with the Bombs and don't really have a big points gap back to the Rockers, so who knows? And here the Cantaloupe Crusaders get wonked by the Ice Blasters. 4-3, the Ice Blasters take the win. But yeah, as I was saying, the Assassins don't have a comfortable lead over anyone, so they could very well fall off the podium if they don't beat the Suns in this match. Well, let's see. It looks to be another tie. This is definitely the Assassins not looking good. They're at -1 right now. It might be over for the Atlantic Assassins. Well, they have their final chance against the Ice Blasters, and they blew it. Okay, and I they lost 2 matches and they tied one. That is absolutely awful. Yeah, unless we see someone lose 3 matches with like a worse total points than them, they're probably going to get last. The Kent Warriors and the Suns. I think this is the final match of the Heat, and it's going to be an easy 4-1 victory for the Kent. Actually, 3-1. Sorry. Oh no, it is a 4-1. I don't know why the scoreboard is wrong. Ignore the scoreboard. That is absolutely wrong. But they will advance along with the Ice Blasters. Suns and Atlantic Assassins are going down. Suns, very surprising, I know. They were one of the best, actually, are probably the best collision team along the Assassins, who are also a very good collision team. Assassins could very well lose out to the Corsins. I wouldn't be surprised if they do. But it would still need the Canton Worsers to do very well. Here comes the Poison Plants, the Ketchup Mechanics, the Oceanic, and the Coral Creatures. Now, all of these teams are just kind of either in the mid pack or they're in the bottom. I believe Poison Plants are the highest, or it might be the Ketchup Mechanics, but I think it's the Poison Plants. Here they go, Poison Plants and Coral Creatures. I believe that it will be a victory for the Poison Plants, 3-2. Yes, it is. Yeah, that's a good victory. They definitely would like a good end to the season. Coral Creatures do, but everyone wants it. Ketchup Mechanics and the Oceanic. Who will win this one? It will be Ketchup Mechanics 4-3. Not the most violent match, but it worked out for the Ketchup Mechanics. They win. Who's up next? It's the Oceanic back again against the Poison Plants. Oceanic, I believe, on the left. Yes, and that is gonna be a tie, and it will 2-2 once again for a tie. Now ties are 0. Obviously, ties are 0. Losses are -1, and wins are 2. Coral Creatures v Ketchup Mechanics. Can the Coral Creatures redeem themselves? I believe they have just tied, I believe. So Coral Creatures are not looking very good. Ketchup Mechanics are looking good because they won a round. But if they lose, that could maybe put them out. But yeah, here it comes. They are back at it with the Poison Plants. If they lose this, they're probably still going to make it, to be honest. Yeah, these. And they do. No, they don't. Actually, it's a 3-3. I don't know where I got that they lost from. But yeah, it is a 3-3 match. It's a tie, and I think they're going to make it. The Ketchup Mechanics should advance. Now, final match, Coral Creatures and the Oceanic. I feel like maybe one of these two advance. Oh, there's 4 marbles bunched up all there. And it seems like the Oceanic actually have one more than the Coral Creatures, which means they will win the match. But is it enough for them to advance? No. It will not be enough for them to advance. Their loss cost them, and the Coral Creatures, ugh. I believe that is just barely beating the Atlantic Assassins right now. A tie and 2 losses, just like the Assassins. But here's E4, our champions, the Darkness Bringers, the 4th place team, and the hosts, the Rocky Rockers, the Ghost Hunters, and the Miracle Makers, who are sitting at the bottom of the standings. The 2 top standing teams, a middle standing team, and a bottom of barrel. So now we start with the first match, the Darkness Bringers and the Miracle Makers. That championship and that bottom barrel team. Who will come out on top? And it's gonna be the Darkness Bringers. I mean, unsurprisingly, honestly, if anyone expected the Miracle Makers to win, I think you're just lying to yourself. But yeah, the Rocky Rockers and the Ghost Hunters are up next. The Rocky Rockers, good chance at podiuming as the hosts. Can they do it? Maybe, as they will beat the Ghost Hunters 3-1. Good effort. It just wasn't enough from the Ghost Hunters. Now the Darkness Bringers and our hosts. Who is actually better at marble sports? And it proves to be the Darkness Bringers. The Rocky Rockers keep 3. Oh, I was about to say they kept 3. They almost did not keep 3, but they kept 3 on. That's still not enough. They will lose by 1 point to the Darkness Bringers, the Miracle Makers, and the Ghost Hunters. What can they do? The 2 lowest teams in the order in this match, and they'll tie. 2-2. That is a tie between the Miracle Makers and the Ghost Hunters. Move on to the Ghost Hunters v Darkness Ringers. Ghost Hunters have tied and lost a match so far. What can they do here? Darkness Ringers. Is that a Ghost Hunter? Yes, that is a Ghost Hunter, which means that that Darkness Ringer just swear to the book, but yeah, the Ghost Hunters are gonna beat the Darkness Ringers, and the Darkness Ringers are not gonna go uncontested group stage, but they'll still probably advance. Now this is an important one. Rocky Rockers are the Miracle Makers. It's gonna be the Miracle Makers who take it over the Rockers. 4-2. Now, will this be enough for the Rocky Rockers to make it? I don't know. They lost to no. This is gonna be the battle for advancement. The Miracle Makers are the Ghost Hunters. Who? That was underwhelming. Okay. The Miracle Makers and Ghost Hunters. I was gonna say they were in a battle for advancement. This could match decided that they both didn't even hit each other. What are they doing? Well, here's our second tiebreaker. Can they do something different here and actually hit each other? Yes, there we go. But now we see some action. We will see the Ghost Hunters advance from the group stage. For the graphic is stupid. The graphic is just stupid. It's 4-3. Don't listen to the graphic. I'm infinitely smarter than that. Cantaloupe Crusaders and Peacemakers. We're starting off our quarterfinals. What can they do? And it's going to be a victory for the Cantaloupe Corsairs. Now, I think that will actually knock the Rocky Rockers off the current podium. The Rocky Rockers have, I think, beaten the Atlantic Assassins, but they will not beat the Cantaloupe Corsairs. The Cantaloupe Corsairs need to get 8th for the Rocky Rockers the podium, and they will not get that. And here, the Ghost Hunters will reign over the Poison Plants 4-2. Which means the Rocky Rockers are not going to podium this season. Absolutely heartbreak for the hosts. And the Cantaloupe Corsairs could definitely podium now. That they are, I believe, in the top 4. Ice Splashers and the Bombs. And I believe that, I'm pretty sure, I'm 99% sure, the Cantaloupe Corsairs have made it onto the third step of the podium. We'll have to wait until the closing ceremony to find out. Meanwhile, the Bombs will instead the top 4 out of the 2. Darkness Ringers and Ketchup Mechanics. Lead 2 winners. What will they do here? And it's going to be an absolute disaster for the Ketchup Mechanics. 3-1. The Darkness Ringers are going to move on to the top 4 after a disappointing showing. And by disappointing, I mean bottom half. But that's kind of just awful for the Darkness Ringers. They have a lot of different standards. Now, the Ghost Hunters and the Cantaloupe Corsairs. Who will win this match? It is going to be the Ghost Hunters. 4-0. Ghost Hunters. It could be on for victory. And the Bombs and the Darkness Ringers. Bombs coming from the left. And they're going to annihilate the Darkness Ringers. 4-0. 4-0. Man. I was honestly expecting the Darkness Ringers to win that, but the Bombs, they're going to get top 2. Now here's the battle for the bronze. The Darkness Ringers and the Cantaloupe Corsairs. They barely hit each other. But one Darkness Ringer falling off is going to guarantee the bronze medal in collision to the Cantaloupe Corsairs. Basically, no interaction, but that one Darkness Ringer falling off was detrimental to their score. Now, the Ghost Hunters and the Bombs. Ghost Hunters barely advanced. Bombs, I think, won, and it seems like, that Bomb just barely staying on. I think that's going to be enough. Yes, same result as last match with the Bombs. And they come in and win the